What's up, Bulls Nation? Peck here. We got a live CHGO Bulls post-game coming up for y'all right around the corner. Bulls beat the Nuggets in Denver, closing out their West Coast trip. 4 wins, 2 losses. Coby White goes off again. 3rd straight 35-point night. 13th straight with 20-plus. Josh Giddey doing his thing. Dalen Terry can't miss from 3. We'll break it down next. What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome in to CHGO Bulls post-game. Coming to you live from our studios here in West Loop, downtown Chicago. I'm Peck, Bulls _Peck. That's Big Dave. Bow! Bow! Dan of Will Sports.
I took it today, Will.
Yeah, I said
Will Gottlieb. Perfect Quaff, Will _Gottlieb. And the one and only Queen of the Controls, Katie W. What up, Katie?
Suck it, DNVR.
Yeah!
Tell them what we did today, Katie.
Suck it, Peck.
Slap them. Bulls win. Slap them again and tell them. Bulls win. Make sure they feel your backhand in the Mile High City. Bulls win. And then drop the bomb from the top of that mountain. Suck it, Joker. Bulls win. Let's go. 4 of them things.
Woo!
1, 2, 3, 4. Just like Dalen Terry threes.
So
4 of them
close.
things.
So close.
I thought that's what you were talking about, but no, it was 4 and 2 on the road trip.
Yeah, that's why I held up 2 hands.
Oh, yeah.
4 for the wins.
I thought you were talking about Dalen Terry.
I immediately assumed he was talking about Dalen Terry made 3.
I always
The answer
assumed
is
he was
yes.
talking about Dalen Terry made threes.
CHGO Bulls post game
yes.
presented by Bet365. Y'all download the Bet365 app and use promo code CHGO365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Woo!
Oh, wow. Thank you all for joining us tonight. If you are hanging out live in that YouTube comment section, throw us your thoughts on tonight's game. And by God, hit the like button.
You better smack it.
Throw us a super chat just feeling generous.
Yes.
Lot of Coby White love. The tank is dead, says Kelzo Pine Tree.
Tank's been dead.
Yeah.
Take been dead, sir.
We ready to talk championship chat? Asked Dr. Professor 756.
I love talking Bulls championships.
Oh,
In the 90s. This is my favorite.
Connor, Peck going to be in shambles. I'm fine.
Oh, he'll be
J&B
fine.
Travel, suck it, Peck. Yeah, suck it, Peck.
Yeah, Peck. Yeah, you know you hate this so much, Peck. Oh, he can't.
Hey, you know what?
He cried. He hates it.
Oh,
so.
I'm
wanna-
so miserable.
I want to talk about the tank stuff and the direction a little bit later, but I mean, you got to start with the game.
Let's
That
start
was
with the game.
Start
Let's
with
get
the
into
game.
it.
37 points for Coby White.
Insanity.
Gets the Player of the Week award for the 2nd straight week.
Bam.
Comes out and says, yeah, I'm going to just go for 37 tonight.
Yes. Shout out to Will Gottlieb getting me on track. Yes. Absolutely right, Will.
A
Coby
26,
White.
8 and 9 game from Josh Giddey. 4 of 4 from 3 for Dalen Terry, 14 points. Jalen Smith comes off the bench in 15 minutes, gives you 14 points.
Talk slow to me, Will.
That was another game where it was competitive throughout. It was like a little bit back and forth in the first half,
Yep.
and the Bulls were playing him well. We should say no Jokic, no Aaron Gordon. So it wasn't like peak Nuggets, but a very competitive game. And then in the fourth quarter, as we've been talking about, the Bulls just wear you down, and then it's like they shoot out of a cannon and they get like a stop, a run out layup, a stop, a run out layup, a stop, a run out 3, and they're up 10 and the game's over. It's crazy how dominant they are in the fourth quarter.
Oh, man. Listen to the words we're being used out here. Dominant. In the Chicago
They're
Bulls,
killing teams.
They are killing teams. They're doing it. And they did it on the West Coast trip. Like, this is the final game of the always scary West Coast trip. As I told you last game, abolish the West. Get them out of here. All right? Yeah, Joker wasn't there. We get that. It's very, very important. You need the MVP out there to do his thing. But Denver is still truly incredibly formidable. No matter who's out there. If Joker's not out there, there's still an absolute problem. If Aaron Gordon's out there, there's still an absolute problem. It's the reason they had the lead early on in this game, man. But you have to give credit to Coby White and what he did in this game as far as carrying the Chicago Bulls, because that is exactly what it was. And you saw how tired he was at the end of the third. He didn't even make it to his bench for a minute. He had to stop right before he got to the bench just to put his hands on his knees and, get some air because he was tired and still came out in the fourth quarter and was balling out of control and still playing defense, man. He has just been simply amazing for the Chicago Bulls, man. You run out of words just to describe how good he really has been. And thankfully, when you run out of words, they give you awards for it. And he got the Eastern Conference Player of the Week award twice. He's going to be the Eastern Conference Player of the Month. You can put that in pen. He's getting that award right there, man. This is his third straight game of 35 plus
35,
points.
yeah.
This is what? That is Jordan stuff, all right? That is Mike's name when we will mention things like that. That's DeMar DeRozan when we will mention things like that. Like, those are the people you're in line with when you start doing those kind of things, man. Those are stars that I'm mentioning. Of course, one is the uber star, but still a star nonetheless. But, man, Coby has just been uncanny. He has just absolutely been amazing. Inside, outside, pulling up for the deep threes, taking you inside, definitely learning how to get foul calls. He is getting so many calls now. I mean, it is great to watch a Bulls player actually get calls. He is getting some of them. You're like, was that a foul? Doesn't matter. They even had one where Billy got it reversed because Coby jumped backwards into the player, but he was in the
somehow won that challenge.
Yes, he was in the area. He was in the area he should have been. They said, hey, no, that's a foul. Cool. We'll take the free throws with that, man. No, Coby has been outstanding. I can't say enough good things about him.
I said dominant there, talking about the fourth quarter, and then you said that was a strong word, and then I was like, maybe they're not so dominant. I just looked it up. Last 10 games, fourth quarter net rating, plus 21.5.
That's what I'm talking
That's
about.
dominant, okay?
That's dominant, what? Will.
It matches the eye test.
Oh my God.
And what I said was listen to the words he's using. Using
Third
words like
in the
dominant.
NBA. That is dominant.
Yes. Don't disagree with you at all, sir.
And that's the last 10 games before tonight.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they just ran up and down against the Nuggets.
Dave, you mentioned, Coby's ability to draw those fouls now and the fact that he's starting to gain that respect from NBA officials.
Yes.
In the was it the game on Saturday? Or no, the game before that. The Kings game maybe? When he went to the free throw line 14 times, career high. He goes back to the line 10 of 11 tonight. We talk about how, when Coby in this streak has not even been shooting the ball particularly well from three, he's still scoring in other ways. Tonight, he did it from the free throw line and was 5 of 10 from three. Also 5 of 12 from inside. Not the most efficient night inside. He's had better. But every night he shows you something different that really stands out. With Coby, he's always had the burst of speed to get by his guy, to break his man down off the dribble. The handling has gotten better to help him do that.
True.
We've seen great, an abundance of examples of that this season. And then tonight, you see not just the speed, not just the hesitation moves he's added to it while improving his ball handling, but the footwork. One bucket he had, final possession of the third quarter, he legit just put Jamal Murray in a dream shake in the paint. Whoop, going this way, whoop, going this way, whoop, going this way. And it was all based on footwork that Coby has gotten so much better at.
Yeah, you hit that on the head, man. The handles combining with the footwork leads to better layups for a guy like that, or any guy like that. And Coby White, man, it's just watching it be all controlled, that controlled chaos. He always has been a chaotic kind of player, man, just a ball of energy kind of guy. But just like any superhero, once you kind of harness it and you get it and you know how to control it and use it and not just throw it out all at once, you become way better and better, and you start seeing things and saying words like dominant about what you're doing out there on the floor. And I mean, they have multiple guys on them, man, and it didn't matter who they put on him. Watson, he got some too. You saw Porter get a little bit of that. You saw Murray get some. Braun got some. Everybody got some. They got him, called a center on the switch. Well, he got cooked as well. He got it from everybody. Everybody got a piece. Chef Coby was handing it out to all of them in Denver, man. Shout out to Katie. But, yeah, he was just really special, bro. And just doing it game after game after game. I love speaking of him in this way. It just reminds me of how I was speaking of DeMar DeRozan when his streak was going on. And he just would not stop scoring. It's just being amazing. It's just a wonderful thing to see, and it's just incredibly exciting, man. It really is.
Okay, we were talking about the dominant fourth quarters. How about this for clutch stats? Okay, last 10 games, the Bulls' clutch net rating plus 48.2. Okay,
is that good, Will?
They have a 97.5 defensive rating, 145.7 offensive rating in clutch. So Yeah, dominant. And I think the thing about it is the pacing that you're talking about with Coby. And Stacey said something on the broadcast today that I really disagreed with, which was that he said this is like North Carolina Coby, where he was just blowing by guys. And I feel like the difference now is that he's changing paces so well. And we've talked about this, but like the combination of the threat of his pull-up three in transition, he's getting the rebound or getting the outlet pass, getting up the court really fast, okay? And then he can either stop on a dime and shoot a three, and teams are terrified of that.
Including like from the outskirts of the logo.
Which he did multiple times tonight. That's a very, very good shot for him. And for, I mean, like if you're an elite shooter, that you got to take that away.
Yeah.
And so now teams are like, oh, we got to close out to that. And then he's got the hezzy and the blow by. And so when you are in that position where you're like getting defenses to pull out at you and then you can get them to jump and then blow by them like that. Now he's got runways to the rim. And it's a combination of the shooting, the change of pace, and the explosion. He's just so good at getting into the paint now. It's like he's been working at, I've talked with him about this. He's talked about it a bunch over the years where like he's started to develop his change of pace. And like, I feel like it's gotten to this point where it's all coming together with the jump shot and with the scoring, where teams are just so afraid of him shooting the ball that now it's opening up the driving lanes. And he's been incredible.
And the ball handling, Will, I think is a huge part of that as well. In that first quarter, man, you remember he split a double team going behind his back.
Oh, dude, that behind the back was
like, that's how he split
filthy.
the double team. He went behind his back, like from the left to the right. Do you know how difficult that is?
And then he went high off glass to finish that play. Damn.
The degree of difficulty on that, dog, like, is insane. Like, he has just been out of his mind good for the Chicago Bulls. He had 20 in the first half. 24, excuse me, in the first half,
almost,
bro.
Almost won Matt's bet by halftime.
That technical free throw he hit, like with a minute gone in the third quarter, got me my Coby 25 or over bet.
Oh man, it was something, bro. Like, it was something to behold, and it was very exciting. And I'm just happy when he can do those kind of things out there on the floor, man. And yeah, it just makes you feel good that, like, yes, Coby White is doing his thing, bro. Like, it just makes you feel good.
Sean the Savage in the comments saying Coby White is him. Orange Cassidy saying, how fun has it been to watch Bulls basketball lately? Coby is just balling. Force Within with a dose of reality. We are going to have some money tied up with Coby White and Josh Giddey. Joel, Coby consistently scoring big is massive.
Massive.
Joey, is that you? It's one letter different. Bark twice if you're in Milwaukee. Yeah. But and look, Sean also saying some Bulls fans wanted Coby traded at the deadline. I was not a Bulls fan like saying for the love of God trade Coby White. I'm saying it's something the Bulls should have looked at, considering where the team was and maybe where they were steering towards. I won't deny that. I think they could have gotten some solid value for Coby White had they decided to trade him. Yeah. I think it was Orange Cassidy who also brought up, like, man, that Coby contract is looking great right now. Yes, right now. The current one. The one that expires at the end of next season. So that's the big part of this. When you're talking about Coby, I've seen several people in the comments already saying superstar. I've seen the word superstar used. I saw it on Bulls Twitter tonight. Superstar in the making. That's where you start to lose me. And I'm not trying to like rain on the parade or take away from Coby's party. Coby is playing incredible basketball in this stretch.
Incredible basketball.
And it's even different from any other Coby White hot streak we've seen before because of all of these new facets to his game that weren't there before that we're now seeing. It's just about Coby is 25. He just turned 25 back in February, I believe. Where is the superstar ceiling for a player who's playing like this right now? And what does another Coby White contract look like? Well, you're also looking at a pretty big Josh Giddey contract.
It's a great question, man. I want to ask y'all this. What leaps out at you more in these Coby White stats here? The fact he went 11 of 22 from the field, 5 of 10 from 3, or the fact he was 10 of 11 from the free throw line?
I mean, the free throws.
Free throws.
That's always when
the free throws.
Yes, that is the correct answer.
Absolutely,
because all the first two we've seen him do. His career, we've seen this happen before. The free throws, the consistency in getting to the line is what stands out now, and why he gets another 35-plus point game, because he hit 10 of those 11 free throws, man. That's what leaps out. It's amazing. Shout out to him.
Brad, we got to take our first break here. Brandon Evans saying Nicholas saying looking like one of the best backcourts in the league. Hold that thought when the Bulls go play the Cavs in the first round.
Mm.
How about that? We'll take our first break right there. Still plenty to get to tonight's game. We can talk a bit more about the solid night from Josh Giddey. Got to talk Dalen. Obviously, we got to figure out who the Goon of the night is.
DT.
Throw us a super chat if you feel generous. Hit that like button either way. And listen to some ads.
Four of them things.
Yeah. Tonight's show brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. New customers now can get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5, win or lose. So sign up and use promo code CHGO365. Deposit just $10 if you want to. Use half of that, make a $5 bet, and boom, you're going to see $150 in bonus bets hit your account immediately after that $5 bet resolves, whether it's a win or not. Also, big hoops fans out there, with Bet365 early payout offer, when you're watching basketball, you're a winner if your team goes up by 20 points with an instant payout on straight bets and parlay selections marked as winners. So download that app and take advantage of that early payout offer. And of course, we've got March. It's madnessing.
Madness.
We've reached the Sweet 16 stage. Men's Sweet 16 kicks off on Thursday.
Yes.
4 games Thursday, another 4 games Friday. Take advantage of all these fun college games going on at Bet365. Use that first $5 bet and then use some bonus bets. I made a killing with my bonus bet money that I got when I signed up for Bet365.
Killing.
Oh, so what are you waiting for? Take advantage of that offer. $5 down on any bet. $150 in bonus bets when you make that bet, win or lose. Don't forget that promo code CHGO365 when you sign up. Futures and more, player props, spreads, totals, they have it all. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 and older if you or someone you know has a gambling problem. Crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER.
Man, could you do me a favor?
I sure could.
Could you take that right hand of yours, grab that wonderful drink there, go ahead, turn it up, and experience euphoria. Sam Adams American Light. Not only the best light beer on the market, but also the most amazing hoodie that we have ever put on.
Seriously, why am I not wearing
from a brand? Oh my God. Shout out to them, because light beer just got so much better. Introducing Sam Adams American Light. It is clean. It is crisp. It is super easy to drink. No gimmicks, no fluffs, no woozies, and of course, no wazies.
Of course not.
Sam Adams American Light is not your average light beer. No. It is brewed with 100% American-sourced ingredients from local independent farmers. It is simply light beer that is made right, because light beer shouldn't feel like a compromise, y'all. It's an American classic so smooth it can hang out with Will Gottlieb. You'll want to crack open another one, and then another one, and then another one, and then one more after that, because it's always Sam season. Light beer just got better. Grab some Sam Adams American Light. Available now at select Chicago retailers. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly. When I was out last night, I sure was asking the bar, like, yo, I need the Sam Adams American Light. And they were like, we got every other Sam Adams except that. And I say, I don't like your establishment anymore. Give me some water. Dude, I want it. Like, that stuff is delicious and awesome.
Truly is.
It is good. Thank you, Sam Adams.
Before we return to breaking down tonight's action, quick reminder, everybody, a week from tonight, Bulls are in action again, taking on another Western Conference big-time team, Alex Caruso and the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah.
Number 1 seed in the West, number 1 overall seed in the NBA. Bulls will be battling them, a true test of where the Bulls stack up right now. We will be hanging out for a live, extended, hour-long pregame show, plus hanging out there, taking advantage of their great deals on wings, on bevies, at the Hooters location at 660 North Wells Street here in downtown Chicago. Come hang out with us there.
Yes.
Come hang out while we do pregame. Hang out with us after pregame while we're watching the action. Take advantage of their great deals on wings and everything else on those Hooters menus. And hang out with us and your fellow Bulls fans. So there is no ticket required, no RSVP required. Just show up. Free entry. Take advantage of the great deals and the vibes with your fellow Bulls fans. Again, that's a week from tonight, Monday, March 31st. Pregame will start live at 6 p.m. Central Time. We hope to see y'all there.
See you there.
You know who won't be at our hangout, our watch party from Hooters?
This better be a good reason.
Josh Giddey.
That's a good reason.
He'll be balling.
Yeah, he'll be playing.
He'll be out there balling.
He'll be doing his thing.
He was one half of one either board or assist shy of cashing my Giddey bet tonight. But you know what? I'm going to forgive him. I'm going to forgive him for that because I'm a forgiving person. I've never hated Josh Giddey in my life. I'm just a Bulls fan with basketball opinions.
Suck it back.
And he tried his best tonight to cash me my bet. He came close. I'll give him credit for that. And I'll also give him credit for playing a really solid game again tonight.
He really did. I thought it was a tale of two halves for him.
Yeah.
I thought in that first half, he was a little sluggish.
Yep.
Couldn't get his shot going. He still was getting some rebounds and some assists and things like that. But, yeah, it felt like he wasn't all there. And that third quarter showed up. And then everything kind of changed. And then the fourth quarter, it continued on. Because in the fourth quarter, what I'm learning about Josh Giddey, because we talked about how the Bulls like to run and, run guys out the gym in that fourth quarter. Josh Giddey is imposing his will on the game. It feels so good to say that because that is good to say about teams that are winning. And you've seen Coby do this, impose his will, of course, on the game. But Josh Giddey in that fourth quarter really does impose his will because he is attacking and wearing those big dudes out inside, man, because he is in there battling and fighting. And that is annoying for the other team to have to deal with that, especially somebody who is bringing the ball up and running guard. I thought he had some amazing plays for me tonight. There was one play where the Bulls get the turnover. Giddey gets it and immediately tosses it all the way down court to Kevin Huerter for the layup. It did not hit the floor. And those are my favorite kind of baskets because that means you're just passing and you're on the same page with your teammates when the ball does not touch the floor. That's my favorite thing to watch. I thought it was just really great basketball that he played. 26 points, 8 rebounds, and 9 assists. But that 2 of 3 from the three-point line, man. But, of course, and again, 8 of 10 from the free throw line. That gets your scoring going, man. And he is getting calls. He's another one getting calls. And he's forcing the officials to do it because the officials are rewarding him for being aggressive. And officials tend to do that. If you watch the Detroit Pistons and how they play, they're rewarded for their aggression. If you watch the Houston Rockets and how they play, they're rewarded for that and so on and so forth with the other teams. So once a referee understands the way that you play and how you're going to come into it, then they don't put that onus on that player anymore. They put the onus on the team. Like, you know what he's about to do. How you going to stop it? Two foul. You know he's going to do that. Come on, guys. And so Giddey is understanding that and using it to his advantage, and it is working out very well for him. Just another game where he was consistent for the game, especially in that second half, and helped in that victory that the Bulls got tonight.
Yeah, the foul drawing continues to be, for both him and Coby, where it's just like, you get the ball in transition, rebound, pushes it ahead, and he's at the rim and just lowering his shoulder into guys, and they're moving backwards, and they're not getting their feet set, and it's a charge, or it's not a charge because they don't have their feet set. He's just getting to the foul line at will. I think he had 6 of 8 from the free throw line during the first half, and didn't get to the line as much during the second half, but continued to drive aggressively where he's able to just get easy layups. And that's the difference between him being somebody that can drive offense and him being a passenger. And for the way that the Bulls need to play, and obviously Coby has been the one that's racking up the points, but that combination I think really works well because both are so aggressive getting downhill. And just, Giddey's ability to score at the rim, that completely changes who he is as a player and how you have to guard him, especially when he gets ahead of steam. It's you can't sag off of him and ignore him now because he'll just drive right to the basket and you're either putting him at the foul line or giving up a layup. And that completely changes who he is as a player to me. So ton of credit to him for not only his aggression, but understanding what he needed to do in order to change his outlook as a player. And again, it's a smaller sample, but you cannot argue with the results of what we've seen these last couple of weeks here. He's just been incredible. And I think it all stems from his aggression driving to the basket.
Yeah. And it's what I keep asking for, Will, is consistency. Let me keep seeing it. Let me keep seeing it. Let me keep seeing it. And he keeps showing it and showing it and showing it and helping this team win and helping them move the ball forward and getting to the free throw line. He and Coby alone, that's 21 free throw attempts just from both of those guys. We've seen games in the past where the Bulls wouldn't even have 21 free throw attempts as a team.
Oh, yeah.
They average 18 on the year.
Yeah, I was going to say, coming into this stretch where they've been playing some more winning basketball and Coby and Giddey have both been getting the line more, I think they were dead last in the NBA in free throw attempts per game.
Crazy, bro. Insane. Insane numbers that they are absolutely putting up. And again, when those guys are playing, it starts trickling down to everyone else. It starts trickling down to your bench guys. 4 of them things. It starts trickling down to even if a guy like Kevin Huerter is having such an off game, he was awful from 3-point tonight, but he hit a 3, a big one too for the Chicago Bulls. So he was 1 of 7, 4 of 11 from the field, but the 9 points and the 6 assists, like he's out there helping the team contribute some kind of way. Vooch, 13 points and 7 rebounds. It's great that it's funny because it's not that he's bad. He's just quiet because they're playing a whole different kind of style where he doesn't have to be so ball dominant and they have to get it to him and he's got to do his thing. And they're like, no, we'll get you your points in what the scheme of this offense is. And this is how he's getting open threes, and this is how he's getting pin downs in lane on little tiny guards. And he's exploiting those kind of things. So it's not running things through Vooch, but it's still getting him his shots. Like he still got 12 shots tonight. He was only 5 of 12, so he wasn't on fire, but he's still involved in some kind of way in this offense for the Bulls. And I like what Billy did tonight as far as just riding the hot hand. Billy is not a guy to always do that. And he rode the hot hands tonight. Mm-hmm. He rode Jalen Smith tonight. He did Dalen Terry as well. And usually it didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? If you were cooking or not. If you were the star cooking, of course he's going to leave you in. But those bench guys, he'd be like, hey, great job contributing. Come on, have a seat. I'm going to get these other guys back in. He didn't do that this game, man, against Denver. He was like, no, I like what's going on the floor. And he allowed those guys to play it out deep into that fourth quarter, man. And it turned out to be a wonderful decision.
Brian Genesis in the comments reminding y'all to just give us the likes.
Give it a like.
We've got around 800 of y'all watching live late night on a Monday. Shout out to all of you watching in the Central Time Zone where it is just past 11 p.m.
Shout out to
Appreciate y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Sadler in the comments saying, Giddey's just bigger than most of the guards he's on and goes downhill hard. Imagine if he got even more muscle on him. I don't know if I want to see a Josh Giddey with more muscle on him. I think he's pretty toned and strong for the frame that he has.
I agree.
I think, and we've seen, he's always aggressive. It's him combined with Coby why the Bulls are making this fast-paced offense work. Mm-hmm. They've also both done a better job, I think, of toning down the turnovers in the stretch of winning basketball. So I don't think there's anything wrong with Giddey's frame. And we've touched on a lot of the different things he did well tonight. And how he sort of had a different impact on the game quarter by quarter. The cherry on top, the daggers or the 2 daggers after all of the scoring and leading scoring from Coby throughout this game were Giddey threes. Like Giddey had 2 if Breen were there bangs.
Bang!
Late in the fourth quarter of a game where the Nuggets were trying to make these little late runs to close the gap. They close it to 6, they close it to 5, Giddey has the stones to step up and hit 2 huge threes. Yeah. And that's always been one of my biggest criticisms of the dude. Yeah. And why I did not love when he came here in that trade. I'm like, how can your, heliocentric player who's on the ball all the time, who needs the ball in his hands, when he's off the ball, can he knock down a catch and shoot 3? Yeah. And he is starting to prove that now. The next step is, can he pull up his own threes and knock those down confidently off when he is playing on ball in those, dribble pull up scenarios. But we've seen, it like the crazy whatever it was shooting like 57% from 3 streak he had going for a while. It's come down a bit, but he was 2 of 3 behind the arc tonight, and the 2 he hit were big ones in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, I think the big thing when you talk about the pull-up shooting is basically that's just a way to force teams to defend you that are worried about the drive, right? So if they are going to take away the driving lane, you have to be able to beat them with the pull-up 3. And if he's able to just get downhill regardless, then I'm less concerned about that. It's obviously a good outlet to have and a good secondary. You always want a counter, but I mean, the way the Bulls are running their offense, it's almost like half the time they're in transition anyway, and then the other half of the time when they're in the half court, they're just running these handoffs and getting him ahead of steam when he gets the ball, and so that puts a lot less pressure on him to be able to break you down off the dribble. And when he doesn't have to do that, that's where you have to worry less about a step back 3. So do I think that would be a good thing for him to add to really level him up in terms of being an on-ball creator in the half court? Absolutely. But what I've been really encouraged about is his ability to get downhill even in spite of that when they're sagging off him. I think the bigger thing is defensively, and you saw him working on Jamal Murray a bunch tonight. I think that's the question where you talk about adding strength. I think ideally if you think about like some matchups that this team could have, let's talk about the Cavs in the first round, for example. If the Bulls make it to the first round, you've got Giddey, Coby, and Herter in the backcourt, assuming that the current lineup remains. Maybe it's Lonzo. Where do you put Giddey on that? You have to guard Darius Garland or Donovan Mitchell, or maybe you put him on Max Strus, and now he's chasing guys around the perimeter. I think the issue is if you can get him to a point where he can guard fours, or at least guard like the worst wing of the two, but still gives you a little bit more off the ball and rim protection wise, where he's not getting either back down or blown by. Now you're talking about a player that can be really useful. So to me, like still trying to transition him from like a pure point guard into a can guard 2s, 3s, and 4s maybe, but still play a point guard offensively. I think that's where you're looking at a much better player. And to his credit, he's put in a lot of effort. He's playing a lot harder on that end. But I think like there are just physical limitations that he's dealing with that, maybe he can address down the line, but who knows?
Let's put a pin in the conversation right there. We'll knock out a couple more ads. When we come back, still plenty more to get to. We got to find out who the Goon tonight is, plus a sneak peek at an interview we did earlier today with the one and only Tim Van McMahon, NBA reporter for ESPN, who's dropping his new Luka book tomorrow. We talked to him earlier today. Sneak peek coming up next after the ads. Hit the like.
Slap it. Sunny side, y'all.
Sunny side.
How about being on the sunny side of the street? Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary is your home for judgment-free cannabis shopping, a place where all kinds of visitors are welcome to explore, discover, and purchase a wide array of high-quality hydroponics in the city. Sunnyside has everything you need to elevate your summer, spring, winter, and fall. They got it all.
Let's do summer next.
Saul Ball. What's your one-stop shop for all your cannabis needs? Sunnyside has an expertly curated menu with over 100 strains to choose from, plus easy online ordering and in-store pickup. It's Illinois' favorite dispensary, with locations in the city like Wrigleyville and River North, all the way out to the suburbs, Champaign, South Beloit, and much, much more. So if you're starting out, Sunnyside has expert guidance on brands we know that you will love, like Good News, This Guy, and Mindy's. And if you're a pro, they got you covered with over 100 strains on the menu and new ones added daily. You know you love that Cresco. You know you love that FloraCal. That incredible quality and consistent products. That's what you can expect from Sunnyside. So why don't you go ahead and visit sunnyside.shop for bright buys every day, including 50% off your first 1, 2, 3 online purchases. Enter that promo code HICHGO at checkout to qualify. Exclusions apply. Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary, bright buys every day, only for 21 and over or Illinois Met Card holders.
Post game tonight also brought to you by Cornbread Hemp.
Damn.
Has life been a little crazy for y'all? It's been a little crazy for me.
Been wild.
One thing that helps me unwind, Cornbread Hemp's CBD gummies. Have you been looking for a natural way to relieve aches and pains and discomfort? I certainly am, all the time. My back hurts right now. CBD gummies from Cornbread Hemp are formulated to work with your body, not against it. I am not as young as I once was. True story. A couple of our younger colleagues here at CHGO, Pat and Emma, reached out to you and me, Big Dave, earlier today, asking us to rank the Bulls' 6 championship titles for something they're doing for social. And Pat, snarky little jerk that he is, said, as neither of us were actual human beings, living, breathing human beings, when MJ and the Bulls won their last title.
Yeah, it's their loss.
Yeah, sure. It is their loss, but also reminded me that we're a couple of old farts.
I took it as I saw the greatest player ever.
Yeah, we were there. Man, y'all should have seen it. It was something.
I won.
And y'all wonder why I demand championship pedigree from this organization. Either way, I care a lot about maintaining my physical and mental wellness, just like I care about Bulls championships. Cornbread Hemp CBD gummies are a huge piece of my wellness plan. If you tried everything under the sun for peace of mind, it sounds like it's time for you to try Cornbread Hemp CBD gummies. They're made to help you feel better, whether it's stress, discomfort, just needing a little relaxation. They also only use the very best part of that hemp plant, the flower. That's right. Unlike some of their competitors, other CBD manufacturers who will use everything. It's not just the leaves, the stems, even the stalks, and call it CBD products. Not Cornbread. They only use the flower. It's formulated to help relieve discomfort, stress, and sleeplessness. All products are third-party lab tested and USDA organic to ensure safety and purity. So what are you waiting for? Right now, they're offering CHGO Bulls listeners 30% off your first order. Just visit cornbreadhemp.com/CHGO. Promo code CHGO at checkout is what you use. That's cornbreadhemp.com/CHGO. Promo code CHGO at checkout to get 30% off your first order. Cornbread Hemp. This is the good life.
I want to continue what Goat was talking about and kind of ask him say a statement and ask you a question.
Okay.
About Giddey and his defense, and in that first half, we saw him just getting cooked.
Yeah, I mean, he was guarding Jamal Murray, who had 28 points on 50% from the field, 4 of 9 on threes. So,
but he just looked out of it like in that first quarter, like he just looked a little lost, in the scheme of the defense, not just one-on-ones. He just looked a little out of place. I thought it got better as it got to the fourth quarter, which is something I honestly think we might have to take as far as Giddey right now as a player. That just is a part of his game. Not saying he can't change or get better, but it's just part of who he is right now. So I guess the help will come from those guys I talked about in pregame, like a Zach Collins and a Modest Uzelis, who had 2 blocks tonight also. That help will come from those guys when he gets, when a guy gets by him at the top of the key and tries to get into the lane, then that help defense and those things will kind of come. But is that fair to say as far as who the onus will be on? Because I can't put it on Giddey. So do you find it more on Billy Donovan to try to concoct a scheme that can also, kind of hide Giddey a little bit and protect him, but also showcase what he can use defensively, which is his size?
Yeah, I mean, I think Billy would say, like, he's not hiding anybody. Like, Giddey has to step up to that moment and become a better defender. And that's the challenge that Billy has given Giddey, and Giddey, I think, has responded and stepped up to that. I mean, not long ago, he was getting played off the floor in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Guards were we talked about this early season against the Cavs, where Darius Garland would just bring him into pick and roll, isolate on him, cook him, and then sit him on the bench, basically.
Yes.
And to his credit, he's working a lot harder on that end. I think that there are just limitations that guys have in this league. Like, not everybody is an elite defender. Giddey is not, but he's trying a lot harder, and I think that helps. But if you're the Bulls, you have to build a whole defensive scheme and infrastructure around him to, yes, protect him against his weaknesses, but also just put the team in a position where they're not always having to make up for him. And I think that's the challenge, right? Is to say, yeah, maybe you're not going to be guarding, Jamal Murray every night, but you do have to do X, Y, and Z things, and we'll help make up for that in other ways. That's why I think you're seeing a lot of zone defense from the Bulls of late. It's why, I mean, guys are having to slide over and block shots. They've always been a team that they always say, you've got to do it collectively. It's not just a one-on-one thing. Even when they had Caruso and Lonzo, that was the best defense that we've seen individually. But as a group, they still needed to make up for guys like Zach, DeMar, and Vooch. So how do you do that collectively? And I think that's been the challenge, and that always has been when you're not a defense team. I think the thing with Giddey is that you just have to have, because he plays like a point guard, effectively he's your point guard on offense, but he can't really guard your point guards defensively. You need to bring in a specific archetype of player to help alleviate that, right? You need a guy who can be off the ball on offense and space the floor really well and make good decisions, but can also guard on the ball, who has length to be able to switch up and make up for some of Giddey's, limitations. And that's the challenge of building around him. It becomes harder when you also have Coby back there, who, again, works really hard on that end, has gotten a lot better, but still is not a stopper. And then you have Vooch on the back line. So there's just a lot of challenges that you're facing, and that's why it's been so impressive that the Bulls have been a top 10 defense over the last 10 games. But I think that's just something that they're going to have to think about as they build out this team. And Modest is a perfect example of a player who I think fits that really well, where he can switch onto the ball a little bit, but he's a really good rim protector. He's blocking a ton of shots, and he's long and he's athletic and he works hard. So I think if you can find another guard like Ayo, or maybe it's just Ayo or Alonzo or one of the guys in the rotation already, that you can kind of neutralize some of that stuff. But at a certain point, those guys just need to guard. They need to dig in and guard. And to credit both Giddey and Coby, they've been doing that.
And that's kind of what I was going to ask him. What's the prototype player that you're speaking of?
I mean,
Lonzo,
Caruso.
We know we have that.
You know what I mean? Exactly. Ayo. All those guys are just perfect complementary pieces because they're all 6'4", 6'5", 6'6". They can all shoot, and they're really good on the ball, but they're smart enough to be able to defend away from the ball too. And I think when you are trying to work around guys' limitations, you have to have a level of IQ collectively of we need to make up for this guy by rotating early or pre-switching or just like, getting guys out of positions where they're the one that gets picked on. And I think the Bulls have done a pretty good job of that. I think the zone has helped, but inherently it's just hard to craft a really good defense when you have guys that are not great defenders.
Yeah. So again, shout out to Billy Donovan and what he's doing.
Shout out to Billy. And again, shout out to both Coby and Giddey for really working on that end. Like it would be easy for them to say, yeah, we're not good defenders, we're not going to try, but they're not great defenders and they're trying, and that raises the floor for everybody else.
Yes. It makes it simpler and easier for guys who are like good as far as help defenders, like Modest Ellis, you know what I'm saying? Like a Zach Collins, because they know their job is to help. And so if you're showing them that, hey, I need your services right here, boom, there it is right there. So yeah, I think Billy is tailoring this
and
very
like
nicely.
if Giddey does get to the point where he's strong enough to be able to guard fours, and you look at this Nuggets team fully healthy, for example, they have Murray, Brown, Aaron Gordon, MPJ, and Jokic. You've obviously got Vooch on Jokic. You've got to figure out where you're putting who's guarding Jamal Murray. Is it Giddey on a night where maybe you have some other help? Probably not. But so then is he going to be, mobile enough to stay in front of Jamal Murray, and also strong enough to not get backed down by Aaron Gordon or one or the other? Those are like, but you can't be neither, right? You have to either be strong enough to hold your own in the post or quick enough to hold your own on the perimeter. And you can't be in a position where you're giving up both of those, because that's where teams really pick on you.
Katie, I feel like I need to check on you right now before we play this teaser of our interview with Tim McMahon.
Hi.
For all of you out there in Bulls Nation who know, of course, the epic, legendary, one and only C-Rod Fred has been hanging out in the chat.
Fred is here?
Fred is here, Dave.
What?
Fred is here.
My
and
man.
Guess who he drew into the comment section to argue with?
Yeah, he's
Marquet is here too,
I knew it.
Marquet and Fred in the chat. And now Katie and Fred are fighting about Kirk Heinrich.
Listen.
Now I know why the Bulls winning is good. It brought Marquet out.
Come on,
This is
man.
a good thing, man. Katie, go ahead.
I asked Goat the other day. I was like, man, Mark, like I need him right now. I need him. He's like, no, he's so happy.
He heard the bat call. He heard the bat signal. He saw it. Go ahead, Katie.
C-Red Fred is here for now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how long it's going to last if he
I
keeps
just
up
saw
this
Mark
Heinrich
told you to
slander.
ban him. I don't want you to ban Fred from the chat.
No,
never ban Fred.
Every conversation needs that crazy guy who you're like, the next time I see him, he might be in a straitjacket.
I told you that's how the first time I met Fred, that was one of the first questions he asked me on the elevator is, how do you feel about Kirk Heinrich? And I was like, he's cool. And Fred's eyes lit up. And that's when we became friends.
I mean, maybe just like a cute little 5-minute muting or something. We'll see.
Wait,
just because you did it cute doesn't make it
Katie, you know about the time I successfully banned Fred from Twitter for an entire month, right?
I did not.
You did do this.
Yeah.
This happened.
This is one of the many bets that I was right about and Fred was wrong about.
Yeah.
And we got to choose each other's punishments, and my punishment for Fred was that he had to log off of Twitter for an entire calendar month.
That's
so that I
amazing.
could, at least for a month, save my fellow Bulls fans from Fred's incredibly wild and most often inaccurate takes.
Yo, his goodbye tweet was outstanding. Outstanding.
We should find that. I want to see it again.
Oh, it was great. It was good stuff, man. And the happiness on Peck, because not only did he vanquish him from that, Peck was right. Like, those are his two favorite things. So, man,
there's very few things Peck likes more than being right.
Oh, man.
And there's very few things that the people in the comments like more than saying, suck it, Peck. You were wrong. Admit it. Admit you were wrong, Peck. Admit it.
Yeah.
Say it.
Bulls won the trade.
We're still doing
Giddey
this
is a
show.
superstar. He's already won 4 MVPs.
6 years from now, while Giddey's not an NBA champion wearing a Bulls jersey. Hey, but you know what?
You just triggered so many
well,
people.
no. So our guy Paul, who's always in the comments, said it sounds like Matt's like starting to embrace it. I said I'm not starting to embrace it. I'm just accepting it. It is what it is. I am happy that some of my fellow Bulls fans are happy with this like March midness streak of fun.
I also think there's a big difference between like hobbling into the 10th seed, 15 games under 500,
get there
as a team that really should be more focused on keeping their pick and actually putting together a stretch of like good, fun, compelling basketball.
He's so in my brain.
And we'll find out if it's real or not. You know, like I think there's a real difference between falling into the play-in and climbing your way up in the play-in. And there's a difference between, like avoiding a draft pick that you should get and like doing it because, and like this whole, like this never would have happened.
Worth of odds to get a top 4 pick is the difference, but whatever.
Yeah. This whole thing about like, this never would have happened if the Bulls had just packed it in. Like, I mean, what they're doing right now is not what they were doing all season. They did like Coby and Giddey were playing really poorly to start the year. And even after, in the immediate aftermath of the Zach trade, both of those guys struggled. So for them to turn it on in this way, I think we're still trying to figure out how real this is. Yeah. And I think it's fine to be like questioning that. Just because somebody has a good game or a good stretch doesn't mean like everything has changed about them. Yes. And I also think like at the end of the day, the Bulls were not prioritizing their draft pick. So they were going to have to get super lucky in terms of moving up, or they would have need to be more intentional about it. And it's unlikely that the former was going to happen. And it's certainly not likely that the latter was going to happen because they didn't. So with that being the case, like the only way forward for them to like actually succeed is to have a star who's either coming in via trade or free agency or who's already on the team. And so like for these guys to step up, and I mean, Coby is playing like a legitimate all-star right now.
For real.
Like, I mean, all NBA, 37 points. That's insane. And Giddey has been great too. So I think what's best for the team is for them to find a star somehow. My like thought, and I think preference would have been to find that star in the draft. But if they can do it this way, even better. You already got the guys. The problem is it's not one-to-one to say this was them all along, because that has not been the case. They are leveling up in a big way during this time, and it's not representative of who they were all season.
I don't know what you're talking about. Giddey's been a 50% three-point shooter, averaging a 3-point triple-double all season. Go.
I just want to say it because I want to say it differently. We'll go say it because he said everything correctly. Yeah, but I have to say it my way.
Sure. Yeah,
it's a difference between falling ass backwards into wins than actually going in and getting an actual win.
Okay, see, I'm sorry, I have to push back on that because
please push.
Okay, yes, Lakers, impressive W. Nuggets on the road, yes, impressive. Like parentheses, sans Joker, sans Aaron Gordon.
Still impressive, bro.
Jamal Murray's still out there. They still got solid players out there. Still
4 threes.
The wins leading up to that, I would call falling ass backwards into wins because you were playing against bad teams, most of whom were losing on purpose.
That's not falling ass backwards because you're playing bad teams.
But
falling ass backwards is hitting 30.
They've been playing well to the style that they want to play. And I think that there's a difference there between like a bunch of like disparate performances of guys like maybe, Giddey has a good game and then Coby has a good game and Dalen makes 4 threes and you like randomly win one of these games. There's a difference between that and like consistent play from the guys that you're hoping are your core. And again, I'm agreeing with you. I think the best approach would have been to like start this next year. You get your top pick and now you're off to the races next year. But that's obviously, again, just not in the picture, not in the realm of reality. And I think in some ways that's a real problem. Like you don't have a front office who's willing to make those kind of hard decisions. But in other ways, they were going to need somebody to become a star. And again, we're not going to find out if Coby is a superstar tonight, but we might find out if he has an incredible playoff run or if he, has 25 great games to end the season and plays really well in the playoffs. And same for Giddey. So I do think at this point, you're talking about the difference between like the 13th pick and like a 1% chance of moving up versus the 15th pick and 4+ games in the playoffs of actual evidence of like how good can these guys be.
Yeah.
To me, like they're kind of the same.
Duality.
Shout out to our guy Dreads who tried to get us back on track in the comments saying, didn't you guys tease a little interview before the ad break? Yes, we did.
Oh, yeah, Dreads.
Let's get to that now. This was us chatting with Tim McMahon earlier today, his new book about Luka Doncic that he was writing and completing just leading up to that crazy trade happening, and then he put like a little addendum final chapter on it. That book about Luka drops tomorrow, so go get yourselves a copy. I can't wait to read it. I love bios of NBA superstars. And so we talked to him a little bit about the book, but also got some of McMahon's takes on our beloved Bulls, including his thoughts on the Zach LaVine trade. So it's like a solid 15, 20-minute convo. We're just going to play like a couple minutes of it for y'all, and we'll drop the whole thing tomorrow. So take a listen, take a look. Curious to get your thoughts of the trade that sent Fox to the Spurs. Zach LaVine, finally, after years of rumors, gets traded from the Bulls to the Kings. The Bulls get some fill-in pieces. How did you feel about the trade at the time, just as an unbiased observer of NBA basketball from the Bulls side of things? And has that changed at all since you've seen the Bulls, especially Coby White and Josh Giddey, really kind of thrive in the aftermath of Zach's departure?
No, I thought the Bulls, as was the case in the previous deal with the Kings and the Spurs, they definitely earned a bronze medal, third place in a 3-team deal. So that's an accomplishment. You can hang that thing around your neck if you want. Look, they were late trading Zach LaVine, because of, and he played extremely well this year, so his value beefed up a little bit, but they did not get good value for him. One thing I mentioned in this book, and I've mentioned it before, when the Mavericks were desperate to get a co-star for Luka, right after they bungled the Brunson situation, they wanted Zach LaVine. They had interest in him, and the Bulls were like, no, we're not moving LaVine. So the package that ended up in Brooklyn for Kyrie probably could have gone to Chicago if the Bulls would have acted, and they didn't get nearly that kind of a value for LaVine. Now, it was time for the Bulls to go younger. It was time for the Bulls, and they weren't able to move Vooch. It's time for the Bulls to really lean into youth, to lean into a rebuild. I still feel like they're stuck in purgatory. They're not bad enough to really benefit from being bad, but they're not nearly good enough, and they're not like rising to give you hope that they're about to turn a corner and become anything close to a contender. Again, third place ain't terrible.
All right, so that was Tim Ban McMahon, the one and only. You probably know him for his reporting, ESPN.com, covering a handful of juggernaut teams out west. Of course, also one of the regulars with Brian Windhorst on that Hoop Collective podcast. I'm a regular listener of that. And the author of this new Luka book that I cannot wait to read. We had a great chat with McMahon, covering a lot of things about Luka and his book and a lot of things about the Bulls. We're going to drop the whole thing tomorrow, so keep an eye on it in that CHGO Bulls subsection of our CHGO Sports YouTube channel. Shout out to him. I mean, I listen to that dude on the Hoop Collective once, twice a week, and have been for years. He came on and said howdy partners to us, and I was like, oh my God. Tim McMahon said howdy partners to us. Super cool. And also, it wasn't purposeful. Katie chose the clip. I know that was kind of like a damper on how fun tonight's win was.
I mean, everything he said was depressing. And I mean that in the most loving way, because we asked questions that led him there, because things are depressing.
Yeah. But I think that's what he was saying at the end was kind of what we're talking about here. It's like, they're not bad enough to really benefit from being bad, but they're not young and exciting and, giving you enough optimism that they could be turning a corner.
Bronze medal.
And I feel like that's kind of what we're asking here in these final some odd games is like, are they giving us real optimism that they're turning a corner?
Mm-hmm.
And I think, like, to your point, Matt, about, them beating up on bad teams, like, it would not be convincing if they were only getting a few wins against some good teams, but not also taking care of the bad ones. And so to play at this level consistently, beat the bad ones, stick to your style, and then also be competitive with the Houston Rockets and lose that game by 3, playing your style, and also lose by 6 to the, Phoenix Suns, who were, heating up at that point in time. And yeah, I think they still have a lot of work to do to convince me. And I think the idea of like, we were right, you were wrong all along, like that, to me, it's like at a certain point, like what we were operating with was the information that we had. And now we have new information, and you'd be a fool not to consider that. And so like, that's what we're doing. We're saying, here's some more information. Giddey has played well over this period of time. Coby has played well over this period of time. And now let's see if we can get some more information about that.
Suns heating up. Caught that. Very well done. I think it's time to put a hand up.
You want to put a hand up?
I want to put a hand
up. We got something to figure out.
I think it's time to put a hand up. And the hand I'd like to choose to put up, I'm going to go with Katie's. I'm going to go with Katie's hand. Yeah, to put it right up in the air as far as it can go. Take her time, bring it across slow, and then spin it up and smack them in the face.
To be the man, you gotta beat the man now. I'm the man.
Woo! Empire Today. Feels so good to talk about y'all so often, I promise you. Empire Today presents Goon of the Night, because all they do is floors, 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 no matter what. 580 to 300. Katie!
I can't believe we're doing this 2 games in a row. Empire Today.
Yeah.
I see that like total, Katie. You had no choice tonight.
I was hoping you guys would forget. So.
What are we at?
Steel traps up here, Katie.
You feel me?
How many likes are we at? I can't see that.
318. I would like
to see it.
320 at a minimum, please.
I
Thank
like
you.
325. Come on
We
with
got
that.
700 people watching. We can
I'd
get more
like
than
400.
Yeah,
Let's
why
go.
not? Let's
get
hit
up to
that.
4.
Let's get to 400, y'all. Let's do it like that.
subscribe, do all that fun stuff.
Yeah. And in the meantime, between time, let us talk about who is getting this coveted cummerbund. Goon of the Night. Brought to you by Empire Today. I will start with the perfectly coiffed Will the Go Gottlieb.
I'm going with my man, Dalen Terry.
Hey.
Not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 for 4 made 3-pointers tonight. He has been cooking. I think he was like 8 of 14 on this road trip from 3.
Oh,
Also had the dunk and the celebration.
Mm-hmm.
Was getting into Jamal Murray's chest full court.
he was.
You love to see it. 4 fouls in 28 minutes. You love to see that too for a
Mhm.
Goon performance. So I'm going with DT.
I like that.
Dalen Terry was 10 of 16 behind the arc on this road trip.
10 of 16. My
10
God.
of 16. Also, great quote here, courtesy of Casey Johnson from Dalen Terry after the game. Casey pointing out that Dalen played the final 17 and a half minutes of this
Amazing.
game,
Amazing.
spanning the third and fourth quarter. Dalen said, quote, "It was a surreal moment, obviously. This is probably my first time in a real NBA game to do that. I thought I was playing good." Love that. Love that from Dalen.
That's awesome.
Is it my turn?
It's your turn.
Alec Jacoby White. I have passed over him a couple of times to cast my Goon vote elsewhere in some of these recent wins that he has had a huge hand in, and I can't not vote for Coby tonight. 36 points. It's his third straight game with 35 or more. Continues his streak of 20-plus, going back 13 straight games now. I gush about his footwork already. I'm still replaying it in my mind. I'm going to be replaying that Coby shake and bake in the paint as I fall asleep tonight.
Nasty.
And he got a chant in a road arena. We've seen some and heard some Coby White chants in the UC over the last couple of years when Coby balling out and being Coby is the best thing this team has going for it. He just went and got a chant on the road.
He did.
That is Goon shit. Coby's awesome, man. Coby's awesome.
Kobe's awesome. Katie?
Once again, I struggled with this one, but I think I'm going to throw a curveball here.
Okay.
Peter Patton for Goon of the Night. Because Dalen Terry can shoot? I'm shocked. I saw a couple people saying it in the chat, and I just stole their idea because, wow, that's an amazing idea. And they're right. Peter Patton, Goon of the Night.
Just
That's
plagiarized their
amazing.
answer, but works for me. I like
Damn
it.
right.
Works for me as well. I'm with it. Woo, honestly, Katie's right. This was tough. Some worthy
Can I give
worthy people.
an additional nomination to
Got a side nomination?
Mark and C-Red Fred?
Mark and
C.
C-Red
Red
Fred
Fred
definitely get noms.
for being in the chat.
They got noms for sure.
Yes,
so great
man.
to see you guys.
Yes, it's good, man. Will misses you both.
Come back, Mark. I need more sane people around here.
Oh, man. Here it is. This is it right here, y'all. Goon of the Night, the coveted belt. Oh, man. All right. Well, Goon of the Night, the award goes to Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith.
Curveball.
Goon of the Night, Jalen Smith. He walked in off the bench. What the first thing he do? 3-pointer, cash. That man had 14 points and 9 rebounds. He was 6 of 8 from the field. Shot a ridiculous air ball, but that's all right. But turned it into an air ball, which was amazing. And also, I still remember him battling in the fourth quarter to get the offensive rebound over and over again. The ball gets swinged out to Josh Giddey, who hits the 3 that pretty much ended the game. Jalen Smith got left in the fourth quarter. That is amazing to me because the dude had been the odd man out between Zach Collins and Vooch, and he was chosen over both of them to play in the fourth quarter. You can understand Dalen's situation a little more because he was chosen over a rookie, Modest was zealous, and over P. Will because his post went away. So you understood that. You were like, okay, you need some fire. Somebody got to guard, Murray out here. Yeah, let it be Dalen. But Jalen Smith had a hot hand, and Billy stuck with him over Vooch. He stuck with him over Collins, man. And he did his thing from the moment he walked on the floor. I appreciate that. So I give you this. Goon of the Night goes to you, sir. Amazing, amazing stuff. But again, I will say to you this, Matt. That argument about Coby White was really good. Very good argument. Almost swayed me right there. Because you're right. That's amazing stuff he's doing. I don't know if I can do this again. If he does that again and not give him one of these awards. Yeah, he's playing way too well.
He got a chant in a stadium
He
1,000 miles away
He did.
and a mile in the air.
He did. That's yeah.
That's really far away from the madhouse.
Yeah.
Can I change my answer again? I'm looking at these comments from C Red Fred. My God. We are an elite defensive center away from 60 wins.
Oh, I
Let's
saw
go.
that. He's peak Fred all over
Seventh
again.
pick in 17, 7th pick in 18, 7th pick in 19, 7th letter in the alphabet is G. Giddey, 7th seed in 26, 7th title in 27. And Day of the Bulls cometh like a thief.
I love how
this-
Will is now discovering Fred
and this
Fred.
is
I'm
why
not
I
discovering
banned
this.
Fred
It's
from
just
Twitter.
it's great to see an old friend.
Hey, you know who got drafted 7th? Kirk Heinrich.
Kobe White.
But
That's
also
going to do it for
Kirk
those of you
Heinrich.
watching on our streaming services like Roku, Samsung TV Plus, even those of you tuned in to Comcast Xfinity. If you want the bonus coverage, just head to allcatio.com. All right, as we wrap up, I saw we got a lot of super chats. Let's shout those out, and then we got to handle some business after the super chats, Katie. I reminded you, we got to do it. I got to own up to some stuff. Our guy AK, first time in a long
AK.
time with the super chat, saying every time I think I'm out, discontinuity pulls
That's
me
what
in.
it thought I was out.
This is
Dude,
what a
pulled
day
me.
team looks like. I have no words or understand this Bulls team. Samesies. AK with another 1999 saying,
Thank you,
Quap Go Will. Kobe's traditionally had hot February and March months, followed by inconsistent April and playoffs or play-ins. Does Kobe's stat last month suggest this Kobe performance is not a Quaff anomaly? Quick answer, go.
We'll find out in April.
AK with one more saying, how do you guys feel about Acme given Kobe's previous regime selection? Garpax drafted Kobe. Acme's P-Will and trade of Giddey for Caruso.
How do I feel about
I said from the beginning that it was going to be hard to evaluate the Caruso Giddey trade until we knew what the contract was, so I stand by that.
So we'll stand by that. Kimberly, our friend, with a $10 super chat saying, thank you, Goat, for speaking the truth. Falling in is not winning, and that Giddey is not a defensive player.
He's
Paul-
trying, though.
Yeah.
He's working.
He's working on
He's
it.
working hard.
He's
He's
getting
sweating.
better. I will grant that
He's
he is
sweating.
getting better.
He's sweating out there.
Still gets cooked a lot, but
Oh,
he's
yeah.
getting better. Paul Sorensen, $9.99 super chat, saying, shout out to the entire CHGO team. Shout out to you, Paul. Shout out to you.
Peace to you, sir.
I know we don't always see eye to eye with our Bulls takes, but I love you.
But we appreciate you.
Mark K with a super chat. Billy Donovan. That's the tweet. Come back, Mark.
It is funny how that works, though.
I mean,
I know somebody here mentioned it, but it's like, terrible game. Everybody pile on Billy. Great game.
Yeah.
Nobody says anything.
But I do it fairly. You lose,
You do
I'm
it
going to give it to
fairly.
you. You
Yep.
win, I'm going to give it to you.
That's the thing. You said it, but
Hey, man. That's how I go.
So real quick, before we get out of here, we should have done this on Saturday night, but it was Sunday morning as we were wrapping up post game after that Lakers 9:30 tip. The Bulls win over the Lakers was their 31st of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight was 32.
Mm-hmm.
They are 32-40 now.
Wow.
Just a stone's throw away from their record last year.
Wow.
Zach DeMar and Vooch. But some people have been keeping one of their eyes on this all season long.
Okay.
In case y'all forgot, we did like an around the office poll and asked for people's Bulls 82-game win-loss season record predictions.
Sure.
At the beginning of the season, we put it up on our socials. You both said 29 and 52.
Mm-hmm.
Goat, I think you had him at 27.
27.
I sure
So
did.
we have all been proven wrong by these try-hard Bulls, bless their hearts.
Mm-hmm.
There was a little addendum I couldn't help but make after I gave my prediction. Katie, do you have that video? Let's play it. My prediction for the Bulls win-loss record this season, 29 and 53. If they win above 30 games, I will jump into the Chicago River. I've seen people
That was a
more and
surprise
more
to me.
as the Bulls have been going on this little streak.
I did
Like,
not
hey,
expect that.
Peck, they're getting close to that 30 mark, getting close to 30. They win over 30. You going to do it? You going to do it? And then people were, tweeting, adding me last night, being like, oh, Peck, you got to jump in the ring. He's not going to do it. He's got to do it. Keep your word. You know who you are. Let me say this just real quick. I just admitted that I was wrong about my prediction because I predicted 29. They are now 2 wins above that. 3 wins, above that.
Mm-hmm.
The part about I will jump into the Chicago River was not about me being so confident in my prediction that if I was wrong, bet against myself, I'll do this silly thing. It was more so along the lines of, and if y'all know me, tune in for a while, you know that this is true.
Yes.
That was me saying, essentially, if the Bulls, against their own best interests, win more than 30 games, I'm going to off myself. All right?
That part.
That's what that meant. But as much as I love to be and stand on being a man of my word, Dave, you know this.
Yeah.
True story. It's illegal to swim in the Chicago River.
Thank you.
So Katie and I have been discussing input, welcome from the chat, something equivalent, close to equivalent, but not illegal, so that I will be a man of my word.
Okay.
A cold plunge in Lake Michigan while it's still late March or early April. I'm open to other ideas. I didn't want anyone to think that I was just going to duck that because I'm not somebody who ducks things.
Okay.
You're still gonna owe Ant-Man, Mello, Hallie, Hero
Mitchell.
whatever Mitchell $30,000 if Giddey becomes a 2-time All-Star.
That wasn't the $30,000 bet. That was just the $100 or $200.
Oh yeah,
bet.
30,000 was
They were
Patrick's
too
scoring
chicken
30.
to make. Also, I never saw that 30-point game from Pat. $30,000 bet.
Still waiting on 20.
So yeah.
AK's already in the chat with a good idea.
Matt, prior to jumping in the river, eat a Portillo's large Italian beef. Gives you wings. Well, that's not a punishment.
Yeah,
It's just
seriously.
me being happy.
I wonder what would happen to a human body if you ate an entire beef and then jumped in the cold Lake Michigan. Like, would you
Want to find out?
I think you'd
I am a
turn
little
purple or
curious.
something. Like, I think you would not look like a human.
I've
when
definitely
you got out
eaten a
of
beef
there.
and then gone swimming before.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
In the
that's-
river,
sounds
though?
like Matt.
Well,
The
no,
lake-
not in the river.
the
I
lake
can't
is-
go
You
in
can't
the
go in the
Chicago
river.
River.
Right.
Illegal.
The lake is one thing. So my suggestion was I think Matt should, before it gets warm, like right now when it's like 30, 40 degrees outside, Matt should have to jump in the lake. Like, we'll find you a good spot and you just jump in the lake. It'll be really cold and then you get out. We'll film it for content reasons and then, you know.
You down for that?
in like
Sure.
July or August?
No, you said like
No,
right-
like now.
like now.
No, yeah, sure.
Oh.
Sure. Let's
All
do
right.
it.
J&B Travels says you need to wear a Giddey jersey for the rest of the season.
No.
He'd rather jump in. He'd rather,
Because I'm not admitting to being wrong about that. That's a different thing.
The Believer is saying Matt needs to twerk.
Did I not say earlier in tonight's postgame that my back hurts?
Yeah, you did.
Y'all don't want my twerking.
Yeah.
Calling says ice plunge with a LeBron jersey on.
Oh, come on.
man.
No.
I like this creativity.
Yeah.
What makes you think I have a LeBron jersey like at hand?
I mean, you had a way you posted.
JC says eat Vegemite.
I've tried Vegemite.
Yeah,
Been there,
that
done
was already a bet. He already
Been there,
had to
done-
eat
It's
a
like
veggie
asking me to
sandwich.
drink Malort some more. Like,
Yeah.
no, I've done it. I
He had
don't
to-
need to do it anymore.
He had to eat a veggie sandwich on this show.
Already done that.
Before. Took a bite.
Never eat a vegetable sandwich again in my life.
He didn't eat it. He just took a small bite.
I will never take a bite of a vegetable-only sandwich again in my life.
It was the worst. Katie, that bite
was
was
torture.
so trash.
That was more torturous than hypothetically
I thought it was
jumping
tasty.
into a frozen Chicago River.
Yeah, lots of
mean-
ice bucket similar things.
I say he just puts on either a Bulls jersey or a CHGO shirt, and he goes out there and he jumps in.
Just do a little
sounds
early
fun.
spring Lake Michigan plunge.
Yeah,
I'll do it.
If you're down for it. that
For
sounds
the
fair.
people out there in Bulls Nation, even those of you who hate on me,
Yeah.
I will do it.
Sounds crazy. I wouldn't do it, but you know,
We'll
hey.
pick a time and a place. I'm a
Take-
man of my word.
Take a
Alright.
good look at Matt Peck. You'll never see him like this again.
My special boy. That's a good boy.
I did also say on some recent show when somebody else had called that out, if I go to the Chicago River, I ain't going out.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
Dave
but I have to
Dave
come
Matthews,
back out
man.
so I can watch the Bulls battle the Cavs.
Yeah.
First
Oh.
round. Upset watch Cavs. Watch out.
6.4 rebounds, 2
Yeah.
assists.
Good idea at the buzzer here. Cut the stash from Joel.
Oh, that's
So
not. Yeah.
That's my reward to myself when
Yeah.
the season's over.
Seriously. He
I
does
shave the
that.
stash off
okay,
for the
okay.
off-season months, y'all.
He definitely does that.
That's,
then everybody
that's happening
says-
either way.
Yeah, it's going
It's the
down.
worst day of my year.
Drink a pint of Malort? Good God, no. No.
No.
AK with another super chat saying, jump into the river and say, Cleveland. Who goes to Cleveland on vacation?
Okay, now that's a thing.
Yeah, I mean, I would rather do that than jump into any body of water in the greater Cleveland metropolitan area.
That's fair.
Their rivers catch on fire.
Yo.
All right, that's it. We're out of time. Hey, we squeaked in before midnight.
Yeah.
My God, an 8 p.m. tip feels so early compared to that 9:30 on Saturday.
This is a win.
This is lovely. We will be back tomorrow with a live show, 5:30 Central Time. Join us there. Hit the like button if you haven't hit it yet before you head out of here. Appreciate all of you. Appreciate the super chats, the regular chats, and those who just tuned in. Read Goat Stuff, allchgo.com is where you can find it. Sign up to become a diehard so you can read all of it that we save mostly for diehards. Follow him, Will_Gottlieb. Big Dave is I'll be at WL Sports. I'm Bulls_Peck. We are CHGO_Bulls. Shout out to the one and only queen of the controls, Katie Dovey. Have a great night, Bulls Nation. Bulls coming home 4-2 on the trip. Who saw that coming?
Mm-hmm.
Not this guy. Love y'all. See you, Red. Be good.
Get some sleep. Peace. Love.
We all silly like the mayor.